Hope everybody's doing okay on Friday, November the 8th, 2024. George Sisler, Hall of Fame. 340 career batting average, 2,812 hits in 15 years. Very good ratio of hits per game played. He played 2,000 games, roughly, over 2,000, and got 2,800 plus hits. 2,812. How did he do it? Well, I've looked at every season from 1915 until 1926, looking at every single box scores. He's had some remarkable seasons. 1920, he got 257 hits and batted .407. Played every game that year. So it's legitimate because he got 631 at-bats and maintained .407. This is 1920. You say the pitching not that good during that time? I beg to differ. He was in the American League. You know who pitched in the American League during that time? And his team had to play the Washington Senators. You know who was pitching? Walter Johnson. And Walter didn't come out of the game, so Sisler had to face him 4 times. And if they had a 3 or 4 game series, that's 12 to 16 at bats. How did he do against Walter Johnson? I don't know. I'd have to look that one up. Also, he had the next following year, 1921, he had 216 hits and batted .371. Then the following year, 1922, he gets 246 hits and bats .420. And that year, he just had 142 games. .420. So then 1923 did not play. He had something wrong with his eyes, had surgery or something. Couldn't play the whole season, missed it. 1924, 194 hits. Bats .305. 1925, he gets 224 hits. Bats .345. 1926 was a down year. 290 batting average, 178 hits. I don't know what happened because he played 150 games. So this video, 1927, how'd he do? 149 games, that's good. 614 at bats, 87 runs scored. So he's not scoring 100 runs because he's had 4 seasons doing that, over 100. But he did get 1927, 201 hits. The 5th time over 200 hits. He's got 257, 216, 246, 224, and now 201. 5 200-hit seasons. This guy's a good player. 32 doubles, 8 triples, 5 homers, 97 RBIs, so he didn't reach 100. 27 stolen bases, 24 walks, 327 batting average. So that improves on the 290 the year before. 201 hits, 614 at-bats gives you 327. 357 on base, 430 slugging, 264 total bases. He had a 13-game hitting streak. He did have 64 multi-hit games. 37 2-hit games, 17 3-hit games, 6 4-hit games. 14 2-run scored games, 4 games 3-run scored, 1 game 4-run scored, 17 2 RBI games, 2 3 RBI games. 2 4 RBI games, and he had 2 5 RBI games. 1927, how do you rank it? Better than average as far as his concern. I'd say very good because he got the 201 hits and the 327 batting average. Fell short in the runs scored and the RBIs. Did have 64 multi-hit games. George Sisler. That covers 1927. I've got 3 seasons to go. 1928, 29, and 1930. We'll wrap up his career looking at every box score. We'll devote a video to each season. And then I'm going to rank him among the greatest hitters of all time. And I'll prove it with the stats. And we'll look at how he performed in his career as far as hitting. He's not in the top 10 greatest players of all time. There are 10 other players who had better stats across the board. But as far as hitting, he outperformed a lot of guys. He did. His batting average, his hit total, his ratio of hits per game played. So he is in the top 10 greatest hitters of all time. As far as greatest player of all time, maybe top 25, somewhere in there. Maybe top 30. I think I can think of 20 to 25 more players that had better overall stats. See, he only had 102 homers. So a lot of the other players performed better in that category. Also, his on base was 379 career. There are a lot of other players who had 400 better, 400 or more on base percentages. Also, his career slugging is 468. There's a lot of players that have 500 or better slugging. And he ended up with 3,800 total bases. There's a lot of players over 4,000 total bases. So you see, you can't put him in the greatest player category as far as top 10. You can't do that. There are 10 to 20 other players that outperformed him there. But as far as hitting, base hits, career average, 400 batting seasons, he had 2 of them. He outperforms a lot of players in that category. So I think he's top 10 greatest hitter of all time. All right, 1928 season is next. Talk to you later. Sincerely, I'm out.